Fans, this is JD of BBTV News, and I'm back to give y'all the latest and greatest news in the sport of boxing. And before we get into the video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, and share. But let's talk a little bit about Mr. William Zepeda, Golden Boys, up and coming and dominating 135-pounder. And he just recently got a victory over Maxie Hughes. We saw Maxie Hughes end up retiring on his stool after the fourth round. But that's not even the most amazing part of the night, especially if you're a real boxing fan. The best part of the night was what we saw ensue after William Zepeda got his defeat over Maxie Hughes. And we saw William Zepeda call out not just anybody in the sport, but he called out a figure that many people believe will arguably be one of the most best to ever do it, and who even right now a lot of people argue is pound for pound one of the best. And that is Mr. Sugar Shakur Stevenson. So check out William Zepeda and his call out of Shakur Stevenson after the fight.
Sé que mi boxeo es el excelente para poder hacer una buena pelea con Shakur, enredarlo con el volumen de golpes y el trabajo en cuerpo. Creo que esa puede ser una gran respuesta.
I know that my style of boxing is perfect for Shakur. They're throwing a lot of punches, making him confused, and just coming and pressuring him. I know that that's going to make me victorious in this fight.
Camarón, ¿te motiva?
Now, after, fights happen, Shakur Stevenson is usually very near his cell phone. He hears everything. He's typically tuned in and watching bouts, so he can really quickly go to X and respond to whatever somebody may have said in an interview or, certain things that he's hearing through the grapevine of boxing. So, it took not long for Shakur Stevenson to pick up that cell phone and begin tweeting in response to William Zepeda. Now, Shakur raised his hand and said he is with it when it comes to facing off against William Zepeda. Check out the response from Shakur Stevenson. Now, this is a fight that I believe that every boxing fan should want to see. With Shakur Stevenson, he's still trying to wash that taste out of everybody's mouth from the Edwin De Los Santos fight, where it was a unanimous opinion across the board from everybody that was a very lackluster performance from Shakur Stevenson. But Shakur is an excellent fighter, and I don't think he should be judged by that one fight. But we really live in a world of a lot of recency bias. And so a lot of people only remember that last fight that you were out and how they felt watching you in the ring. So this would be almost the perfect bout, I think, for Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson. I mean, with William Zepeda, he has shown and demonstrated that he absolutely is an excellent fighter, and he is one to be reckoned with. At 135 pounds, he is an absolute juggernaut coming forward machine. I will say that William Zepeda is a fighter that puts a lot of mental pressure on every single fighter he steps in the ring with. He is not one that's going to back up. He loves to fight off of his front foot, pushing forward, and pressing the action all night long. And so this would be an interesting contrast in styles with Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda, because we know that Shakur Stevenson is one that he's going to look to be a tactician. He's going to look to kind of outsmart you. He's going to have that ring savvy and that ring IQ, and he's going to move around the ring and stick and move and play that game of hit and not get hit. But you got William Zepeda, who loves to hit and hit some more. So this is an interesting contrast of styles. Now, the most critical moment is the response also from a Bob Arum, who is claiming as of now that the fight between Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson is really only a phone call away. So Bob Arum has responded as well in kind to what Shakur has stated and to what William Zepeda stated. And he has said that it's only a phone call away for them to make Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson. Now, I'm going to be honest, man. This is one of those scenarios where I need Oscar De La Hoya and I need Bob Arum to really, really make this fight happen for the fans. A lot of times, immediately after fights, we do see a lot of fighters, get in the ring, call people out. We see, other fighters take to social media, start tweeting and start, having all this, back and forth, on social media. And then a week passes, 2 weeks pass, and then suddenly we don't end up hearing any kind of finalization of a real bout between the two of them. Now, Bob Arum stated that July 6th, they already have the Prudential Center booked and ready to go for Shakur Stevenson. He's getting another Newark homecoming bout. And so right now, they don't have an opponent lined up. So Bob Arum is saying that all Oscar De La Hoya has to do is pick up that phone and give him a call, and they can negotiate and make that bout. Now, in a world of boxing where we continue to keep hearing all of this opposite side of the street talk, and this is why this deal can't get done or that deal can't get done, there's no excuses, man. We want the bout to happen. So Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, please get on the line and let nothing come between giving us Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson. Again, it's an interesting matchup because the real question becomes, can, Zepeda really be able to press forward and cut off the ring on Shakur? Or is Shakur just too slick, for Zepeda to end up cornering him? But nevertheless, I think that absolutely there's no way that a Zepeda versus Stevenson ends up the way we saw De Los Santos and Stevenson's fight go. I don't think in any way, shape, or form that would, be possible for that to be a lackluster fight, because Mexico's Zepeda is always going to be a fan-friendly fighter. He's always going to press forward. And it will just be a question for a lot of fighters when it comes to Zepeda is, can you have enough power to make him respect you? Or can you stick and move enough to where Zepeda can't cut off the ring? But as of right now, it would be undefeated versus undefeated. So as of now, we have not seen any fighter at this particular juncture be able to outbox or do anything of that nature to stop a William Zepeda. But the same thing could be said for Shakur Stevenson. We have not seen anybody outthink or outwork a Shakur Stevenson at this point. So it would be undefeated versus undefeated. Arguably two of the top fighters right now at 135 pounds. You know that you still kind of got Gervonta Tank Davis out there who's going up against another fighter in Frank Martin. You got Keyshawn Davis on the come up. You got Floyd Schofield on the come up. So, it's really, really interesting, where the 135-pound division is right now. You used to have Haney, Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, but all of them have kind of bumped up to 140 now, and I don't necessarily see any of them dipping back down to face off against Shakur or Zepeda or any of them at 135. If anything, they would make Shakur and Zepeda go up to 140. So with that being said, man, this would arguably be the best of the best at 135 between Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson. So a lot of us are hoping that they can make this fight happen, man. This would be an excellent fight. Let me know out there who you think will win a Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson bout. I must say this. With the way that Oscar De La Hoya and William Zepeda are calling out Shakur, you can tell that they're pretty confident in their skill set. They're pretty confident that there's something that they feel they can exploit in Shakur Stevenson with such a firm call out. But I know that Shakur Stevenson stays in the gym. He stays training. He stays ready. Nobody in boxing right now, I would say on the come up in this youth movement, probably has the ring savvy that Shakur has. But it just would be an excellent bout and a definite contrast in styles. But let me know who you got in that bout, who you got winning Zepeda or Shakur Stevenson. Also, man, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're going to continue to keep giving y'all the latest and greatest news in the sport of boxing. And until next time, man, this is JD at BBTV News. Deuces.